Chapter 280. Su Wan, we're finally starting work. Everyone came really early. It's a new day. We need to work hard. Yi Shaoling, wife, take care of yourself. I'm going to visit you at work in the afternoon. Moi tilde following the exposure of Ling Wan's love, the two's Weibo had become a battlefield for showing off their love. If single people weren't strong enough, they only needed to take a look and their blood would be emptied. Even girls who had a partner felt like their hearts were going to break after seeing the two's interaction. How could the third master be so cute, handsome, and loving his wife so much? Most importantly, he was so rich. Nani. Any male lead in an idol drama would turn into trash compared to him. What overbearing CEO. What black-bellied poker face. What aloof Prince Charming. All of them had to stand aside. In the past, the girls would check on Weibo. What new topics and news were there today? Now, the girls had to report to Third Master Yi whenever they went on Weibo. Third Master, hurry up and show off your love. Third Master, you're still cute today. Believe in Third Master, love your wife and don't worry about getting rich. As the CEO of an entertainment company, Third Master Yi's Weibo fans were even more than the fans of his brothers and sisters. All the artists of Yi Entertainment were crying in the toilet. Sister Wan, Third Master really dotes on you. At this time, Ju Yi, who was currently doing makeup for Su Wan in the film crew, sneaked a break and went to report to the Third Master. That's right. She was Ling Wan's fan now. Plus, she also amicably invited a lot of her friends to join this big family that loved to show off their love. She got candy every day and received benefits every day. In short, Ju Yi felt like her life as a CP fan was finally complete. Of course, Ju Yi had apologized to Su Wan for the photo that leaked last time. Su Wan obviously didn't take it to heart. She and Su Rui never thought about hiding their relationship. As for who posted the photo, Ju Yi didn't say it clearly. After all, she didn't personally see that person post the photo, but Su Wan knew who it was. It was Lin Mu. This wasn't hard to investigate, but Su Wan still told Su Rui to use his connections to suppress it. Now wasn't the best time to publicize this matter. This was because besides being the #1 boss of Sinu Entertainment, Lin Mu was also the #1 male lead of Mystery in the Palace. Their crew was also filming in this film city, but it was on the ancient street next door. Su Wan and Su Rui knew that Huang Qi planned to finish filming ahead of schedule because of Lu Jun's additional investment. As the saying goes, know yourself and know your enemy and you'll never be defeated. Su Wan had been in Sinu for 12 years, so she had a few trustworthy friends. Although those people couldn't openly betray Sinu, they could still secretly send her a message. Additional investment. Lu Jun was really willing to part with his capital. But this was a good thing. The more he paid attention to the drama, the more at ease Su Wan felt. You want to finish faster than us? Alright, then please be prepared to keep throwing money at me, only to end up empty-handed. This was just Su Wan's first step to attack Lu Jun. The game had just begun. Film City, Mingwa Street. The highly anticipated new drama, Spy Change 1943, was currently filming. Hai Huang and Yi Entertainment's artists had taken over this drama. The original male lead, Meng Hao, had been poached to Yi Entertainment by Su Rui at a high price. This time, they wanted to create a team that would become famous overnight. All the main actors in the crew were newcomers with more potential from the two companies. There were countless handsome men and beautiful women. Just randomly pick out an underground transit station contact with only 3 lines, and they were all handsome young men. The attractiveness of this show was already heaven-defying. As for the main actors of the drama, Su Wan, Meng Hao, Tan Yuqi, and the second female lead, Hu Wei, they each had 10 custom-made sets of clothing. Su Wan and Hu Wei's Cheongsam styles were custom-made by the top Cheongsam craftsmen in the country. Once the official photos were released, it immediately attracted the gazes of countless fans of Tang suits and Cheongsam. For a time, people were asking for the same style on Daobao. As news of the production team came out one after another, Spy Change 1943's popularity only increased. When all the major forums and Tiebar took stock of well-produced dramas and the most anticipated dramas, This drama was always on the list, always suppressing Sinu's mystery in the palace. This made Sinu's people work even harder to speed up the filming of the new drama. At this time, the production team was short of funds again. Thankfully, Lu Jun didn't say anything and increased his investment. At this time, almost everyone in Mystery in the Palace's production team knew that the reason why the production team was working overtime day and night was because Boss Lu wanted Yi Lu's drama to be aired earlier than Su Wan's. Speaking of the exes, he was definitely the most complicated person in the world. Everyone in the production team discussed in private. Did Lu Jun hate Su Wan because of his love for her? Or did he regret it because Su Wan and Third Master Yi were in love right now? He couldn't bear to see others living better than him. These discussions slowly made their way into Yi Lu's ears. Yi Lu's thoughts were complicated too. Every time she tried to ask about Su Wan, Lu Jun's expression would change and he would interrupt her. This made Yi Lu feel very uncomfortable. She kept feeling that Lu Jun seemed to be hiding some secret in his heart and he didn't want anyone to reveal his secret, including her. While people were complaining and working hard day and night, Spy Change's production team had plenty of funds, so they filmed in an orderly manner every day. The actors were full of energy and were full of motivation. Plus, the Third Master would come to visit them every day. Every time he came, he would bring a car full of delicious food for everyone. Seeing how rich he was, Hai Huang's small actors and actresses were tempted. They wanted to sign over to the Yi family right now. Originally, Tan Yuqi was the most good-looking person in the production team. But ever since Su Rui entered the production team frequently, the girls that surrounded him all became the Third Master's fans. In the beginning, Tan Yuqi really wasn't convinced. But then, Tan Tien invited Su Rui to his underground club to play. At the time, Tan Yuqi happened to be by his uncle's side. He personally saw Su Rui show off his skills and beat up the most ferocious fighter in the club. After that, young Master Tan felt like he should keep a low profile in front of the Third Master. Nani. His uncle was already called the gangster boss, but he felt like Third Master Yi was even more ruthless than his uncle. He definitely wasn't someone he could mess with. On the 10th day of work, it happened to be Su Wan's birthday. Today, the entire production team had a day off. Naturally, the rich Third Master Yi generously booked an entire hotel and posted a message on his Weibo. Yi Shaoling, today is my wife's birthday. Right now, I'm collecting 99,999 sentences. Yi Shaoling will love Su Wan forever. Everyone who left a message on Weibo, go to my assistant to receive a 99 yuan red packet. 99,999 lucky people will receive a 9,999 yuan red packet tilde a red envelope of 9 million renminbi, free of charge. Third Master Yi's public display of affection reached a new height. More than 90,000 comments were completed within an hour, and there were even more Ling Wn fans who continued to add comments at the back. Be together. Be together. In just over an hour, this Weibo post had reached the top of the trending list. 99999, I want to be with you forever. Forever, the most affectionate confession. When everyone thought that the love maniac Third Master Yi would propose to Su Wan, he posted a new Weibo post late at night after the party ended. Yi Shaoling, thank the heavens for letting us meet in our best years. When you stand at the peak of your career, I will personally give you the crown. The picture under the Weibo post was a photo of Su Wan receiving the Best Actress award at the award ceremony. 3-time Best Actress award. This was the original body's wish. My life will be complete after I receive the Best Actress award 3 times. Late at night, Lu Jun woke up from his dream. His expression was complicated and heavy. Maybe it was because he saw Yi Shaoling's Weibo post that Lu Jun couldn't help but dream of his past life. 3-time Best Actress award was Su Wan's dream. When Lu Jun was with her, she had mentioned this wish more than once. Unfortunately, in her past life, she was forced to leave the entertainment industry after marrying him. Lu Jun gritted his teeth thinking of this. Yu Yin didn't think that Su Wan already knew. The more virtuous a person was, the more self-righteous they were. Lin Mu always thought that he was better than others. Whenever he encountered a problem or a setback, He would rarely humbly ask others for help. Slowly, when he encountered a bottleneck, only drugs could help him get through it. He felt that he was different from others. Other people took drugs because they were empty and lonely. However, he devoted himself to art to find inspiration. Only people like him would have this kind of self-deceiving thought. Yu Yin, you better not care about Lin Mu's matters. Otherwise, I can't help you if you bring trouble to yourself. As she spoke, Su Wn stood up and left without hesitation. Recently, the high pressure on the cast of Deep in the Mountains made many actors suffer. Some minor supporting roles even wanted to quit the cast. Under this situation, Lin Mu naturally wasn't in a good state. A few days ago, Lin Mu's drug addiction flared up after filming for 2 days and 2 nights. He immediately called his manager to get the goods from someone he was familiar with, but that person was out of stock. Not only that, but apparently, the entire circle was out of stock because of the crackdown. Unable to get the goods, Lin Mu's drug addiction flared up and he could only hide in a remote place. That day, Yu Yin happened to be practicing her dialogue there by herself. As a result, she bumped into him. People with drug addiction didn't have any rationality nor dignity. Lin Mu begged Yu Yin to keep it a secret for him and even told her to lie to beg Su Wan. Right now, only Tan Tien had the goods in his hands. Yu Yin always had a good impression of Lin Mu. Su Wan knew this and so did Lin Mu. But how much of the relationship in the entertainment circle was real and how much was fake? After Su Wan left, Yu Yin sat there and thought for a long time. In the end, she sighed and put the money under the coffee cup before turning to leave. A week later, the filming of Deep in the Palace was successfully completed. It took 2.5 months to film 50 episodes. The filming speed was amazing. The smooth completion of filming of Deep in Darkness also caused a wave of excitement on the internet. Sinu Entertainment even took advantage of the wrapping-up party to announce that this highly anticipated TV series had been submitted for approval and would be released to the public in a few days. At this time, several TV stations had already purchased the rights to the premiere and rotation of this TV series. Although the filming schedule was a bit rushed, Huang Qi had seen the sample and he was very confident in this new drama. As long as it was broadcast, it would definitely become popular throughout the country. Su Wan was still in the studio. She still had a night scene to film tonight. Sister Wan, they invited quite a few big shots to the completion banquet. While Su Wan was resting, the gossipy Juyi couldn't help but move closer to her and point at the photo that Shuri Entertainment had just uploaded. Before Su Wan could say anything, Wu Tong couldn't help but roll his eyes. They're afraid that they can't beat us, so they've been rushing things. Now that the completion banquet is so grand, they want to steal our limelight. But they can't decide who's the diamond and who's the glass. Sister Wan, don't you think so? Oh. Hearing their words, Su Wan smiled mysteriously. Let them have fun tonight. Everyone, don't forget to buy a copy of Shuri Entertainment tomorrow morning. Sister Wan? Wu Tong's gaze flickered. Could it be, Sha? Su Wan gestured for Wu Tong to keep quiet. Then she placed her phone in his hands. Help me hold on to this. It's my turn. Seeing Su Wan walk in front of the camera and start acting with Meng Hao, Wu Tong looked down at Su Wan's phone. There was a text message from Li Wei. The fish took the bait. Watch the news tomorrow morning to celebrate. What did this mean? Extreme joy turns to sorrow. After the completion banquet, Sinu's popular young man, Lin Mu, was arrested for taking drug. This was Li Wei's exclusive news again. Plus, there were pictures of Lin Mu's drug addiction acting up and him being taken away by the police. Lin Mu had always been a model of a good man in the entertainment circle. Now that the news of him taking drugs came out, it immediately caused a huge storm. This wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing was that Lin Mu was the main actor for Mystery in the Palace, was currently being sent for approval. Now that Lin Mu's scandal came out, not only did Sinu Entertainment suffer a heavy blow, Mystery in the Palace, this ancient drama that cost hundreds of millions, could be aborted at any time. Chapter 282. The greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Su Wan wanted Lu Jun to feel this vexed feeling. Su Wan naturally knew about Lin Mu taking drugs. She purposefully told Tan Tian's people not to give Lin Mu the goods. After a month of high-pressure filming, Lin Mu's patience had reached its limit. After the end of production banquet, it was the best time for him to relax. At this time, the company that had been out of stock suddenly had stock again. Though this was a bit of a coincidence, Lin Mu didn't have the time to care about this. This scheme could be said to be ruthless. Lin Mu's path to stardom was ruined and Sinew Entertainment had also suffered heavy losses. Lin Mu had the most scenes in Mystery in the Palace. Now that Lin Mu's scandal had been exposed, according to the regulations, if the drama had to pass the censor, then all of Lin Mu's scenes had to be deleted and reshot. Nani? If the male lead scenes were all deleted, then what was the point of filming? Over 200 million. The investors spent over 200 million on this drama. Though Lu Jun, the one who spent the most, didn't say anything, the other investors were already dissatisfied with Sinew Entertainment. Sinew Entertainment was originally one of the top companies in China's entertainment circle, but after this incident, they suffered a huge blow. While the netizens were still feeling emotional about Lin Mu's matter, someone exposed that Lin Mu was the one who stole Ju Yi's photo and exposed Su Wan's relationship. What was a hypocrite? Look at Lin Mu. There were pictures and the truth. The moment this post came out, there was a wave of anti-Lin Mu on the internet. Countless fans and passers-by expressed their determination to boycott this poisonous hypocrite in the entertainment circle. Boycott Lin Mu's new drama, Mystery in the Palace. Due to the internal and external troubles, Mystery in the Palace was officially rejected by the headquarters. If it didn't pass the censor, it wouldn't be broadcasted. Yi Liu was sitting by the beach in a daze when she received the directors group's message. Mystery in the Palace was the most important drama in her life. In order to film this drama, she had suffered a lot and overcome a lot of difficulties. A few days ago, during the end of production banquet, everyone was still raising their glasses in hopes that the ratings would be high, but now, because of this, Lu Jun's expression darkened. Yi Liu knew that she caused him to lose a lot of money. She also felt very apologetic. Yi Liu originally wanted to wait for Lu Jun to finish his work and talk to him, but Madame Lu appeared at this time. As a picky person, Madame Lu originally looked down on her son's ex-girlfriend. Now, she looked down on Yi Liu even more. In any case, Su Wan was a movie empress. She had fame and status. Plus, she didn't spend any money from the Lu family. But Yi Liu was different. She was just a minor character, but her son had to waste 100 million just to support her. That was cash, not paper. After the high and mighty Madame Lu met Yi Liu, she directly took the route of a vicious mother-in-law in traditional idol dramas. She threw a check and coldly said to Yi Liu, "Leave my son and I'll give you this money. Don't bargain, because you're only worth this much." It turned out that he had already been marked with a price. In other people's eyes, wasn't she just a small celebrity that Lu Jun kept? Yi Liu knew about this, but she could feel Lu Jun's sincerity towards her. She felt that as long as the two loved each other, they could overcome all difficulties. But Lu Jun had been getting quieter and quieter lately. He had a lot of secrets that he wasn't willing to tell her. This made Yi Liu feel bad. The crew had dispersed and she didn't have any work to do now. Because she was in a bad mood, Yi Liu could only go to the seaside to feel the wind. "You're Yi Liu?" A clear male voice interrupted Yi Liu's thoughts. Yi Liu was surprised to hear the other party call her name. She looked towards the direction of the voice and saw Yi Xiaochuan wearing a flowery shirt. Yi Xiaochuan. He was Second Master Yi. Although Yi Liu had never interacted with Yi Xiaochuan before, she had heard Lu Jun mention this person before. "Second Master Yi, what do you want?" Seeing Yi Xiaochuan walking towards her, Yi Liu immediately stood up nervously. She was instinctively afraid of the people in the upper-class circle. Especially Yi Xiaochuan, who was in front of her. He had a sloppy look on his face. She didn't know what he wanted to do. Was he here to humiliate her? After all, he was Lu Jun's competitor. It was normal for him to hit her when she was down. While Yi Liu was letting her thoughts run wild, Yi Xiaochuan had already stood in front of her. Then he unexpectedly lifted his hands and grabbed the corner of his shirt, handing it to Yi Liu. "I'm your fan. Hurry and give me your autograph." Yi Liu was speechless. You got the wrong person?" Yi Liu looked at Yi Shaochuan suspiciously. "I've never acted before either." "Who said that? You've been in the industry for 6 years and acted in hundreds of dramas. You're the palace maid in the Palace of Heavenly Purity in The Great Salt Merchant, the daughter of Jiangzhe's governor, and..." Yi Shaochuan was very familiar with the dramas that Yi Liu had acted in. He even knew how many minutes she'd appeared in and how many lines she'd say. "That's right. Second Master Yi had nothing to do recently, so he collected information on Yi Liu. What was a pickup expert? Take a look at Second Master Yi." Yi Liu's gaze turned a bit complicated hearing Yi Shaochuan's words. Everything he said was correct. Even if he just memorized everything, she was touched that he knew everything she'd acted in. Yi Liu always thought that she was the only one in this world who could remember these things. Long time no see. You're a busy man now. Why didn't Third Young Master come to visit you today? Third Young Master Yi's daily visits were already a model in the Weibo circle. Ever since Third Young Master Yi started to show off his love, it led the entire entertainment industry to show off their love, married, unmarried, just in a relationship, unannounced. These couples tried their best to show off their love. Unfortunately, Third Young Master Yi's fighting strength was too strong. Normal people really couldn't win against him. Red packets worth millions and investments were all small things. According to the Yi family's employees, their company's password was Yi Shaoling loves Su Wan. Apparently, whoever yelled the loudest every day would receive an extra reward. In short, Third Young Master Yi was sick. He had the illness of if you don't show off your love, you'll die. If you meet the Third Young Master, you'll ruin your entire life. If you're going to marry someone, you'll marry Yi Shaoling. This had become the standard for beauties to choose a spouse. Lu Jun shouldn't care about this, but because of Su Wan, he followed Third Young Master Yi's Weibo. From then on, Lu Jun would be attacked by Third Young Master Yi's lovey-dovey pictures and words from a distance. Right now, he was half HP hearing Lu Jun asking about Su Wan. Su Wan smiled faintly. He's been busy with company matters recently. He keeps running around. I'm scared that he's too tired. MN. Oh right, how are you and Yi Liu doing? I haven't had the chance to bless you guys yet. Yi Liu, hearing that Su Wan wanted to bless him, Lu Jun gazed at her inquisitively. We're doing great. Although her new drama was banned, I plan on investing in another drama for her. This time, she'll be the female lead. Of course, if someone tries to do anything, I definitely won't let them off. Oh. Hearing Lu Jun's words, Su Wan faintly responded, okay, I should head back to the set. See you next time. As she spoke, she waved at Lu Jun and brushed past him. Lu Jun waited until Su Wan walked far away before turning around and quietly watching her departing figure. He didn't know if it was because they hadn't seen each other for a long time, but Su Wan gave Lu Jun a strange feeling. He couldn't connect the Su Wan he knew and the Su Wan from his past life with the current Su Wan. Was there something different about it? There were a lot of things that were different. Based on his past life's memories, Lu Jun snatched several businesses that originally belonged to the Yi family. He even snatched a piece of land. What surprised him was that the Yi family didn't fight for business with him even once. Even their new products and development plans were different from what Lu Jun remembered. Was it because the head of the Yi family changed from Yi Shaochuan to Yi Shaoling? Or, Lu Jun didn't dare to think of other reasons, because if he thought too deeply about some things, the result might not be what he wanted. Today, Lu Jun couldn't sleep again. He tossed and turned on the bed, unable to fall asleep. Everything that had happened recently kept flashing through his mind. Everything was different from what he experienced in his past life. If the past life didn't exist, would those memories just be a big dream of his? No. Dreams couldn't be that complete and real. Lu Jun climbed up from the bed and rushed to the bathroom to turn on the tap. He turned the water to the maximum and wiped his face with both hands. He couldn't waver. He couldn't doubt it. Hearing the sound of running water, Yi Liu slowly opened her eyes in the bedroom. She leaned against the head of the bed and stared at the bathroom door quietly. At this time, the bathroom door was suddenly pushed open. Lu Jun slowly walked out and their gazes met by chance. "Ah Jun, what's wrong?" Yi Liu saw that water was still dripping from his sideburns and asked with concern. "Sleep. I'm going to the study to take care of some business." Lu Jun interrupted Yi Liu and quickly left the bedroom. He didn't know how to face Yi Liu right now. He didn't even have the courage to tell her about his rebirth. Lu Jun had his own pride. He had to tell Yi Liu how badly he lost in his past life and how miserable he was. He even had to rely on a woman to raise him. Lu Jun couldn't bring himself to say this. Seeing Lu Jun leave without hesitation, Yi Liu sighed softly. Recently, the two had been communicating less and less. Lu Jun insisted on giving Yi Liu another show and wanted to make her the female lead. Yi Liu actually wanted to tell Lu Jun that her biggest wish was to become a superstar like Su Wan and become a movie empress. But, ever since she got together with him, she just wanted to spend the rest of her life with him. Chapter 284. At the end of the year, the annual drama, Spy Change 1943, that had been a hot topic even before it started filming finally finished filming. The ending party happened to coincide with Christmas. Because the film and television city didn't have any snow all year round, many girls wanted to see the snow on Christmas. Therefore, under the lead of Tan Tien and Su Rui, the two rich bosses, the entire cast and crew flew to Snow Dragon Mountain. They made a cup of fragrant snow tea, admired the snow on Tian Shan Mountain, and stayed in the ancient walled city. They had no choice. They could do whatever they wanted when they were rich. The entire crew had a great time during the trip to the Great Snow Mountain, and this well-produced, sky-high TV series with an investment of hundreds of millions quickly passed the approval of the general administration. Before the Spring Festival, it was broadcast on the two most watched TV stations in China. Because this drama had been a hot topic, both fans and haters waited in front of the TV seriously on the day of the first broadcast. Fans, so excited. Their idol's new drama is finally here. Haters, so excited. Should I start hating from the opening song when the first broadcast starts? Or should I start hating from the dubbing and soundtrack? In short, I have to hate them to a high level this time. MN. 8 at night, prime time. Su Wan and Su Rui also sat in front of the TV early. There were a lot of snacks in front of them. That's right, the first broadcast tonight was the legendary 3 episode. Plus, after the first broadcast, the TV station would continue broadcasting a behind-the-scenes interview program. This was a small program that the cast and crew had specially recorded a few days ago. The 4 main actors had participated in the recording and they had also revealed a lot of exclusive tidbits backstage. General Su hadn't watched primetime TV dramas in a long time. He was a bit excited. Although he visited the set almost every day when the drama was being filmed, it was a different kind of excitement to watch the drama being broadcasted in front of the TV. Friday night was usually the most relaxing and happy night. After working for a week, they could finally have a good rest. Pan Xiaolu was Lin Mu's diehard fan. Even though Lin Mu's career had fallen to rock bottom because of his drug addiction, she still supported her idol. So what if he took drugs? Who couldn't make mistakes? Moreover, he was trying to relieve his stress and find inspiration. Our family's Lin Muck is working so hard, so what right do you have to scold him? In short, Pan Xiaolu felt that Lin Mu was framed by someone out of jealousy, and the person who framed him was definitely someone from the cast of Spy Change 1943. When these two shows were being filmed, the fans of both sides fought fiercely online. Later, when Mystery in the Palace was banned, there was a large group of Spy Change fans who celebrated on the internet. And now, after just over 2 months, Spy Change 1943 was finally going to premiere. Pan Xiaolu had prepared her tablet and phone a long time ago. Then, she sat in front of the TV and planned to go to the official forum to complain once the drama started broadcasting. She did not believe that this drama was really as good as the public said. His looks were off the charts. Max acting skills. Excellent tools. Good script. Humph, who doesn't know how to brag? When the commercial countdown ended, the drama began to play. The first thing that appeared on the screen was a scene of war. Then, amidst the smoke, the main characters and the cast list appeared. There was no song at the beginning. The background was grand, and the soundtrack was passionate and exciting. Ah, it's a main theme drama. They're all done so well. Look at the actors. They're all young and tender. Do they look like spies? Pan Xiaolu decided to wait. 10 minutes after the drama started, she would complain about the newcomers' acting skills. At this time, the opening ended and the plot officially began. Meng Hao, who acted as Yu Cheng, wore gold-rimmed glasses and a traditional Chinese tunic suit. He appeared in a small tavern. This was the beginning of the story. As a Central Intelligence agent, Yu Cheng came here to meet up with his informant. At this time, the scene changed. Outside the tavern, Ninth Sister Qin, who was played by Su Wan, was wearing an old-fashioned flowery gown. Her hair was tied up in a black braid and she carried a large cloth bag on her back. She stood on the street with a blank expression. "Brother, I want to ask how to get to Jiang Tavern." Ninth Sister Qin asked with a silly smile as she casually stopped a man wearing a robe beside her. "Jiang Tavern? Never heard of it." That person shook his head and quickly walked away. When Ninth Sister Qin heard the passerby's reply, a look of disappointment flashed across her face. She subconsciously hugged the large cloth bag on her body tightly and continued to walk forward. This time, she stopped a young married woman wearing a cheongsam. "Big sister, may I ask? Who's your sister? What's with your eyes? Country people really don't know how to read people." The luxuriously dressed young married woman glared at Ninth Sister Qin and then quickly left. "Isn't she my sister? She looks even older than my aunt." Ninth Sister Qin muttered to herself as she walked forward. At this moment, she had already reached the entrance of Ji Xiong Bar. She rubbed her empty stomach and unintentionally raised her head. "Ah, Jiang Tavern." She couldn't help but exclaim in excitement. Then she hugged her bag and rushed inside. It was mealtime and there were a lot of people in the tavern. Ninth Sister Qin saw a seat by the door and sat down without a second thought. "Miss, there's already someone here." A man's gentle and polite voice rang in her ears. Ninth Sister Qin looked up to see Yu Cheng's gentle and harmless eyes. Needless to say, as a heavenly empress, Su Wan's acting skills weren't just for show. This uncultured but simple village girl was quite good at acting. This was the male and female lead's first encounter. Ninth Sister Qin's appearance disrupted Yu Cheng's plans, making him unable to contact his informant. This wasn't a new topic. Thankfully, Su Wan was pretty and acted well. Pan Xiaolu saw that Heavenly Empress Su's fans were cheering for their idol on the official website. She curled her lips and decided not to criticize the acting skills or the plot. She hadn't watched the original novel, but she heard that the TV version changed a lot. It seemed like this was still an idol drama under the guise of a spy battle. Even the male and female leads' first encounter clashed with many idol dramas. Pan Xiaolu continued to stare at the plot on the television. She watched as Ninth Sister Qin foolishly pestered Yu Cheng all the way. When the two of them turned into a small alley, the style of the entire drama changed. Yu Cheng, who was walking in front, was defenseless, while Ninth Sister Qin, who was behind him, suddenly took out a dagger from the big cloth bag that she treasured. Then, with a fierce look in her eyes, she directly stabbed Yu Cheng in the back. What was going on? As it turned out, Ninth Sister Qin also came to Jiang Tavern with a mission. Unknowingly, the episode of the TV series ended quickly. Although there were still haters on the official website, more people were looking forward to the following plot. This drama was closely linked and the plot was tight. It was hard to tell who was the enemy and who was the ally. It was indeed a rare spy battle drama. Many haters who came to watch the drama were unknowingly attracted by the plot. Pan Xiaolu was one of them. Su Wan's acting is really good. Yi Liu sat in front of the TV and couldn't help but exclaim softly. Lu Jun didn't say anything. He was Su Wan's fan in the past. He naturally approved of Su Wan's acting skills. Maybe it was because her acting skills were too good that he was deceived by her for so many years. Yi Liu, You'll be better than her in the future. Lu Jun hugged Yi Liu. I've already helped you negotiate a new movie. It's a martial arts movie. You'll be the female lead this time. Although the filming location is really far from the capital, I'll fly there often to see you. You'll definitely be more popular than Su Wan in the future. I've never thought about comparing myself to her. Jun, actually. I don't have to act. Yi Liu lifted her head and looked at the man beside her with a gentle gaze. I just want to be with you. I don't want you to fight with your mother because of me, and I don't want it to affect your business. Yi Liu lifted her head and looked at the man beside her gently. Darling, don't say any more. I know what I'm doing. Lu Jun lowered his head and kissed Yi Liu's forehead. In his past life, Yi Liu's biggest wish was to become a movie empress. In this life, he had to help her achieve this wish at all costs. If they truly loved each other, even if they broke up, they shouldn't hurt each other. Mr. Lu and I broke up peacefully. It has nothing to do with Miss Y that the outside world is speculating about. I'm not familiar with her, so I don't want to comment on other people's matters. But Mr. Lu is a really good person. I hope he can be happy. As soon as Su Wan's Weibo was published, it immediately received countless likes. Su Rui also liked it at the first moment and posted his own comment, I agree with my wife's words. Mr. Lu is definitely the best person in the world. If he didn't let go, I, Yi Shaoling, would have probably missed my true love in this life. Everyone, please like the good X tilde. Su Rui's reply caused a commotion in the comments section. A lot of meddlesome netizens either liked Lu Jun or left crazy comments in his Weibo. Good X of China, what do you want to say? Hello X, goodbye X. Lu Jun was speechless. Right now, the male lead's heart was definitely hurt more than 10,000. From Yi Liu and Yi Shaochuan's scandal to Su Wan standing up for him, Lu Jun felt like everything was a dream. Yes, this must be a dream, right? Maybe after he sleeps again, everything will return to normal. Sometimes, fate was like a joke. Lu Jun thought that he had been reborn and could change everything in his future. But now, he realized that everything had gone the opposite of what he had imagined in the beginning. Perhaps, there was no such thing as a past life or a present life. If I can win another award, it will be the last one in my career. Su Wan couldn't help but smile brightly at Yi Liu. Don't tell me you're withdrawing. Yi Liu looked a bit shocked. Then she thought of Third Master Yi's Weibo post from a year ago. She couldn't help but reveal an envious expression. Sister Wan, you're the luckiest woman in the world. I think so too. Su Wan smiled mysteriously at Yi Liu and leaned against her. As long as you're willing, you can be as happy as me. Women are born to be spoiled by men. Yi family's men are definitely reliable. Yi Liu was speechless. In this year, Yi Shaochuan had been chasing after Yi Liu. Plus, he showed Yi Liu the scars on his body. Apparently, he didn't complete his grandfather's task of finding a girlfriend last year. In the end, he was cruelly punished. Yi Liu gradually felt Yi Shaochuan's sincerity towards her. Although he was a playboy in the past, he had restrained himself quite a bit. Yi Liu's heart wavered a bit, but after Lu Jun's incident, she instinctively feared aristocratic families. She didn't dare to try again. At the award ceremony, Su Wan received the award as everyone expected. What surprised everyone was that the guest giving Su Wan the award was Third Master Yi. Many people immediately thought of the post Third Master Yi posted on Su Wan's Weibo on her birthday. When you stand at the peak of your career, I will personally give you the crown. Su Wan, this is the glory that belongs to you. He personally put the crown on Su Wan's head and then knelt on one knee. In front of countless guests and cameras, he took out the diamond ring he prepared a long time ago. Marry me. Be together. Be together. Marry him. Marry him. The entire award ceremony was filled with cheers. Su Wan smiled and took the diamond ring from Su Rui's hand. Countless flashes turned their blissful smiles into an eternal moment. 2 months later, Su Wan and Su Rui got married. After the wedding, Su Wan held a press conference to officially announce her retirement from the entertainment industry. After Su Wan left the entertainment industry, Yi Liu left her original company and signed with Yi Entertainment after Su Wan's persuasion. Right now, Su Rui also returned the power of Yi Entertainment to Yi Xiaochuan. Yi Entertainment's employees lamented that they finally escaped from the Third Master's clutches and ended their bitter days of having to shout Yi Xiaoling loves Su Wan 3 times a day. What they didn't know was that they were about to be tortured by Second Master Yi, who was even better at showing off his love than Third Master. The Third Master returned with a beauty in his arms, so it was understandable for him to show off his love. But what about Second Master? He hadn't even caught up with her yet. Wasn't he trying to trick people? After Su Wan and Su Rui got married, the two of them started their sweet journey around the world. Every day, Su Rui would record the places they went and post them on Weibo. Now, the two of them had more than 10 million fans on Weibo. That's right. Everyone came to watch them show off their love. Tricked. He was dumped. Cheated on. No matter how hurt you were, as long as you strolled around the Third Master's territory, you'd definitely be revived. The world was so big and there were so many scumbags. Being dumped was a happy thing because you deserved better. There would always be a man in the world waiting for you, waiting to spoil you. Su Rui and Su Wan were sunbathing on an island when they received Yi Xiaochuan and Yi Liu's wedding news. After hanging up, Su Wan received the notification that the mission was successful. But she and Su Rui didn't choose to leave the mission world right away. The two booked plane tickets to return to China to attend Yi Xiaochuan's wedding. Old Master Yi was grinning from ear to ear when he found out that the two were getting married because of Yi Liu's pregnancy. Out of consideration for Yi Liu's health, the two's wedding was luxurious and low-key. This wedding was also widely reported by the media. Lu Jun naturally received the news too. Because Lu family's business hadn't been going well these past 2 years, Madame Lu arranged a blind date for Lu Jun's business partner's daughter. The two had just confirmed their relationship. Lu Jun didn't like the girl from a noble family, but he didn't hate her either. Occasionally, he would dream of his past life when he woke up at night. He dreamed of the hardships and simple yet sweet moments when he was with Yi Liu. Unfortunately, it was all a dream. It was just a dream. But was it really a dream? When Lu Jun met Su Wan again and saw the bright smile on her face, he felt like he was in a different world. "How are you doing right now?" Su Wan walked in front of Lu Jun, still wearing a charming smile. "Compared to your past life, do you like your current life more? At least, you don't have nothing." What are you saying?" Lu Jun's expression changed hearing Su Wan's words. He looked at her in disbelief. "You know what I'm saying. It's a pity. Yi Liu loves you so much but you can't give her happiness. Now, I found a better one for her. Don't thank me." Su Wan said this while inching closer to Lu Jun's face. "Lu Jun, you're a coward. So what if the heavens gave you a chance to be reborn? You don't even dare to believe in your lover. You deserve to lose Yi Liu." Su Wan smiled in satisfaction while Lu Jun was in a daze. She turned to leave. "Sometimes, the heavens gave us a chance to treasure the people and things around us and make up for the mistakes we made in the past. It wasn't for you to take this chance to disturb other people's lives." Returning to Su Wan's car, Su Wan closed her eyes and leaned against the seat. She could leave now. Even if Lu Jun regretted it now, he couldn't get Yi Liu back. Everyone's heart was actually very small, so small that it could only contain one person. In the end, the marriage between the two did not go through. Even so, Feng Wushuang, who had always been weak and sickly, still deeply loved Suman. Suman, the Empress of Luanfeng country and also the first female lead in this world. She was born with a golden spoon in her mouth and was designated as the heir to the throne. 2 years ago, the previous emperor suddenly passed away and Suman ascended the throne. She had just ascended the throne. Because she was still young, many old officials in the imperial court didn't care about her. Thankfully, the right minister, Kai Shua Yuan, and Grand Commandant, Feng Wuchen, protected her, allowing her to safely get through the most turbulent period. Now, the imperial court had just stabilized and Suman had just taken in a male concubine. Everything seemed calm, but in reality, there were surging undercurrents and a storm was about to come. Su Wan's identity in this world was Suman's older sister, the Princess Royal of Luanfeng country. Although the two had the same mother, their fathers were different. Su Wan's father was only the former emperor's male attendant and had a low status. Therefore, Su Wan wasn't favored in the imperial city since she was young. After she grew up, the former emperor didn't like her either. But Suman was completely different. She was the product of love between the former emperor and the man she loved the most. Ever since she was young, almost all of the best things in the imperial city belonged to her. Not only did this little princess who lived in a honeypot inherit the throne, but there were also countless men who loved her wholeheartedly and followed her. In the original plot, Suman had 3 husbands and 4 maids. These 7 men were all outstanding and incomparably handsome. Yu Qing was one of the 7 men. Yu Qing, who was born in a poor family, lived up to his name. His appearance was as bright as the moon and his temperament was elegant and otherworldly. He was famous in the capital as a jade-like gentleman. Even noble ladies were impressed by his talent and treated him with respect when they saw him. In the past, Yu Qing was the zither master in Su Wan's residence. The two would often play the zither together in the residence's small residence. Slowly and naturally, they developed different feelings for each other. However, Su Wan was an ambitious woman. She wasn't willing to wallow in love. What she wanted was the entire empire. After discovering that Suman also admired Yu Qing's zither skills, Su Wan took the initiative to recommend Yu Qing to the palace and let him teach Suman how to play the zither. In reality, Su Wan wanted Yu Qing to monitor and get close to Suman for her. In the beginning, Yu Qing was indeed on the same side as Su Wan. He would often tell Su Wan about Suman's movements. But slowly, Yu Qing was attracted to the young but incomparably intelligent Suman and he truly fell in love with her. He was just an ambitious man who wanted to overthrow women's rights and establish a patriarchal empire. From what Su Wan knew, after the original body was used as cannon fodder, Su Man lived a blissful life with her men. At this time, Liu Xian's plot started to gradually reveal itself. Liu Xian. Su Wan muttered this name. He was someone she could fight for and form an alliance with. Bai Lu, get up. Where's the other thing I told you to do? Su Wan asked while walking into the residence. I've brought him back. Bai Lu had already stood up and followed behind Su Wan obediently. Your Highness wants. Bai Lu made a beheading gesture. Su Wan smiled faintly and shook her head. Take me to see him. At the same time, inside the imperial city's imperial study, Su Man wore a bright yellow dragon robe and sat on a chair. A cultured and refined man stood respectfully in front of the desk. This man was the minister Zhuo, Liu Xian. Liu Xian, is Yu Qing safe? Su Man looked at Liu Xian's face and asked anxiously. Master Yu is in my residence. Of course he's safe. Liu Xian smiled confidently. Although he was a civil official, he had studied Chimen Duanjia and plum blossom divination since he was young. Liu Xian had set up layers of traps in the entire Liu residence. Even Bai Lu, who was the most skilled in martial arts under the Princess Royal, couldn't find Yu Qing in the Liu residence. That's good. Su Man relaxed after getting Liu Xian's confirmation. Imperial sister has always been ruthless. If she finds Yu Qing, he'll definitely be in trouble. I really have to thank you, Minister Liu. Because Yu Qing had no status in the imperial palace and Su Man didn't know if there were any spies in the imperial city, she didn't dare to keep Yu Qing in the imperial city. Compared to the imperial city, the Liu residence was much safer and more reliable. It's my duty to share Her Majesty's worries. Chapter 289. By the time Su Wan brought Bai Lu back to the princess residence, it was already night time. Your Highness, do you want me to help you bathe and change your clothes? Bai Lu asked out of habit when she walked to the door. Forget it. Su Wan waved her hands. You've been tired too. Rest early. I don't need anyone to serve me today. Yes. Hearing Su Wan's words, Bai Lu immediately left respectfully. Su Wan slowly walked back to her dormitory by herself. As soon as she entered the inner room, she smelled a peculiar fragrance. This is Your Highness. A crisp male voice rang in the darkness, and then a shadow suddenly rushed towards Su Wan's direction. Su Wan's gaze turned cold. She lifted her hand and the dragon-seeking dagger slid out from her sleeves. A cold light flashed and the sharp dagger was pressed against the person's neck. Your Highness. The male voice couldn't help but tremble. Your Highness, I was sent by Master Lu to serve you. Lu Xiao Xiao? Su Wan's tone turned even colder. I don't need anyone to serve me. Yes. I'll leave now. The male servant carefully retreated, hearing Su Wan's words. Seeing that he was about to turn and leave, Su Wan's gaze flickered. Since you're here, don't leave. Huh? The male servant froze. The moment he paused, Su Wan's dagger had already cut his artery. Blood splattered and dyed Su Wan's body. Guards! Su Wan shouted coldly. Two strong figures immediately rushed in. Your Highness. Take the corpse out and strip him naked. Throw him in front of Lu Xiaoxiao's family's door. Yes. Hearing Su Wan's orders, the two guards immediately nodded respectfully. Also, find out who let him in. Once you find out, kill them all. After dismissing the guards, maids came in to change the incense in the room. The stone stained with blood was also cleaned up. Right now, Su Wan had already taken off her clothes and soaked in the bathtub. It had been a long time since she had personally killed someone. Sometimes, she couldn't help but wonder if she was really going to be crippled by General Su. Thinking of Su Rui, Su Wan couldn't help but curve the corner of her lips. With a husband like this, so what if she was ruined by him? Back then, he had always wanted to take revenge on Shu Ce. The further he went down this path, the colder his heart became. Perhaps he was truly invulnerable, but would he feel happy like that? I won't. At that time, her heart was cold. She could not see the way back, nor could she find a way out. Her mind was filled with nothing but hatred. Now, she had someone she loved, a man who would not leave her no matter what happened. Wasn't this what many people yearned for? People shouldn't be too greedy. The next morning, Lu Mansion of the capital. As usual, Lu Xiaoxiao was lying on his comfortable bed, planning to sleep until the sun was high up in the sky. However, Madame Lu barged into Lu Xiaoxiao's bedroom with a cane the moment the sun rose. She understood the trend in court. In the past 2 years, Her Majesty had gradually grasped the initiative. Especially with the marriage alliance between Her Majesty and Liu family, she had Xiong Liu's help. The Princess Royal's chances of winning weren't high. At this moment, Madame Lu secretly rejoiced. Fortunately, when the previous emperor proposed marriage to the eldest princess rejected the marriage without hesitation. If the marriage had gone through, the future of the Lu family would be hard to predict. Perhaps this was a blessing in disguise. There were no secrets in the capital's circle. What happened in front of the Lu residence in the morning had already spread throughout the court during the morning court session. Everyone couldn't help but sigh. That young Master Lu really didn't make any progress as usual. Everyone knew that the Princess Royal was in a fit of anger. Yet, he still dared to provoke her. He really wasn't afraid of death. When the court session ended, Su Wan walked at the very front. No one dared to surpass her. When she reached Beihua Gate, Su Wan suddenly stopped in her tracks. The officials behind her looked at her in confusion. Under the morning sun, Su Wan looked especially bright and flamboyant, wearing a fiery red official robe. Xiong Liu. Su Wan's gaze swept over the crowd and then landed on Liu Xian. Princess Royal. Seeing that Su Wan called his name, Liu Xian, who was walking with a group of male officials, couldn't help but take a few steps forward. He looked at Su Wan respectfully and asked, Princess Royal, what are your orders? I heard that Her Majesty rewarded Xiong Liu with a decent box of tribute tea. I wonder if I have the honor to ask for a cup of tea from your residence. Su Wan looked at Liu Xian with a smile. Though she was asking him, her tone was high and mighty and couldn't be refuted. Chapter 290. In front of the Beihua gate, a faint smile flickered across Liu Xian's gentle face as he looked at the Princess Royal, who wore a phoenix robe and wore a cold expression. Princess Royal, it's rare that you're willing to give me face. Of course, I'll do as you say. Saying this, Liu Xian moved to the side. Princess Royal, please. Okay. Su Wan coldly responded. She flicked her sleeves and leisurely walked in front. When the two people walked out of the palace gates, the officials behind them finally dared to discuss in low voices. Cousin. At this time, Kai Shuayuan, wearing a blue official robe, involuntarily walked to Feng Wuchen's side. Princess Royal, are you planning on going to Prime Minister Liu's residence to ask for him? Feng Wuchen sneered, hearing Kai Shuayuan's words. Do you really think Princess Royal is a fool? Heh. Kai Shuayuan lifted her brows arrogantly. She's a woman. If she's blinded by love, wouldn't she be a fool? Princess Royal looks like a smart person, but she was still tricked by Yu Qing. Yu Qing used to be someone from the Princess Royal residence. He was also the person she loved. Who didn't know this? Actually, the moment Yu Qing entered the palace, Her Majesty knew his motive. In terms of intelligence, Princess Royal really wasn't Her Majesty's match. Kai Shuayuan's gaze flickered and she exclaimed heroically, Cousin, Her Majesty is the true talent to rule the country. I know that you're unhappy with Her Majesty because of second cousin's death, but I hope you can think of the big picture. Big picture. Feng Wuchen revealed a rare gentle smile. Shuayuan, I know what I should do. I'm going to the military field to train. What about you? Are you going back to the Prime Minister residence or the military office? I'm going back to the Prime Minister residence. I still have a lot of documents to deal with. Kai Shuayuan smiled at Feng Wuchen before quickly walking out of the palace. Feng Wuchen's gaze flickered as he watched the heroic figure walking away. She always placed Luanfeng country's court affairs first and never cared about relationships. This was Luanfeng country's iron-blooded female Prime Minister, Kai Shuayuan. Capital, Prime Minister Liu's residence. Su Wan's carriage slowly stopped in front of the Liu residence. Bai Lu immediately jumped off the horse and lifted the curtains of the carriage. When the guards at the entrance of the Prime Minister's residence saw Su Wan's carriage, they all respectfully knelt on the ground and kowtowed. Princess Royal Jin and Su Wan slowly got down from the carriage and looked at the tall Liu Fu in front of her. She couldn't help but slightly smile. Prime Minister Liu, Bengong remembers that when you were young, you said that you wanted to build your own residence when you grew up. I didn't think that everything would come true today. Not only do you have your own residence, you're also a first-class official in the imperial court. Liu Xian's expression froze hearing her words. Then he smiled faintly and said, Princess Royal, you still remember? That's just an ignorant child spouting nonsense. The Liu family was a famous family in Jingju. Liu Xian and Liu Luo had been hanging out with a group of nobles since they were young. Back then, Liu Xian, who couldn't practice martial arts, didn't have much of a presence. However, he had been very ambitious since he was young. This could be seen from the fact that he had been secretly studying the art of war and formations. Ever since he was young, he had been very ambitious. But now, Liu Xian had learned how to perfectly hide his ambitions and aspirations. As for Su Wan's words just now, it was just a subtle probe. Under the guidance of the butler, the two of them arrived at the attic of the Liu residence. This was Liu Xian's private resting place and the only place that was absolutely safe in the Liu residence. As for the other places, such as the backyard, the garden, and the study, they all had traps and matrices. Normal people wouldn't be able to enter easily. Even if they were lucky enough to enter, they wouldn't be able to get out. That's right. It was that powerful. Therefore, the Liu residence was more troublesome than the imperial city. With these layers of mechanisms, Liu Xian could peacefully carry out his plan to overthrow the imperial court in his own home. Tea before the rain. Princess Royal, please enjoy. Liu Xian was really skilled at making tea. Su Wan's gaze landed on Liu Xian's hands as she watched him smoothly make tea for her. Princess Royal. Noticing Su Wan's gaze, Liu Xian froze and subconsciously called her again. Oh. Su Wan snapped out of her trance and smiled awkwardly. I didn't expect Prime Minister Liu to be so good at making tea. Even the way he makes tea is special. I'm stunned. This is, practice makes perfect. Hearing Su Wan's words, Liu Xian's gentle face quickly darkened. They were both sons, but because he couldn't practice martial arts, his mother found many teachers to teach him the four arts, as well as the art of making tea. Back then, his mother had been planning on sending him to the palace, right? Unfortunately, things didn't turn out as he wished. Man proposes, God disposes. The former emperor changed the system and he actually entered the court to become an official with his outstanding literary talent. However, his brother, who was skilled in both literature and martial arts, was willing to enter the palace to serve Her Majesty for the sake of love. Liu Xian didn't dare to agree with Liu Luo's choice. Regarding marriage, Liu Xian had always insisted that a man and a woman should marry each other. Plus, they had to be in love with each other. He thought that if they were in love with each other, even noble ladies would be willing to marry him. Otherwise, what was the point of talking about love? While Liu Xian was deep in thought, Su Wan elegantly took a sip of tea. Saying this, Su Wan turned around without hesitation, her back facing Yu Qing. Su Wan. Yu Qing hesitated but still called out Su Wan's name. This name had been deeply engraved in his heart. Ever since he fell in love with Su Man, Su Wan's figure had become fainter and fainter in his heart. But today, after interacting with her again, Yu Qing vaguely recalled many things in the past. They had been sweet and blissful before. The past seemed to be still vivid in his mind. Sorry. Yu Qing looked down and his tone was really deep. Su Wan chuckled softly. I don't need your sorry. Yu Qing, really. I don't need these 3 words, not even in this lifetime. Yu Qing clenched his fists tightly but then loosened them helplessly. Although his heart ached and wavered for a moment, he knew that he loved Su Man. It had to be Su Man, Princess Royal. Thank you for fulfilling my wish. I, Yu Qing, will never forget your friendship. I'll be leaving now. Saying this, Yu Qing lowered his head and left. A long while after Yu Qing left, Su Wan slowly turned around, a mocking expression flashing past her face. People said that there were many scumbags since ancient times. The ancients didn't lie to me. You're just changing your love for someone else and you're making it so bitter. People who didn't know better would think that I, Su Wan, was trying to break them up. Not long after Yu Qing left, Bai Lu entered Su Wan's bedroom again. Your Highness, you're letting him go just like that. Let him go. Su Wan smiled faintly. It's a good thing that he and Her Majesty got together. My fragile heart has been hurt. I don't want to believe in love anymore. How about I just find someone to marry? Bai Lu was speechless. Your Highness, you've changed too quickly. Let me reflect for a while. Su Wan smiled, seeing Bai Lu standing there in a daze. From the conversation just now, Su Wan was sure that Yu Qing wasn't Su Rui. If General Su heard her confession to another man and he could still endure it, then he wouldn't be Su Rui. Therefore, Su Wan had a rough idea of General Su's identity now. There was only that person. Whether or not it was him, she'd find out tonight. Spread the news that I'm disheartened and planning on marrying Lu Xiaoxiao. MN, you only need to let one person know about this. Saying this, Su Wan calmly said a name. Bai Lu froze hearing the name, but she still nodded quickly. This servant knows what to do. Saying this, She turned around and left to do her work. With such an efficient, skilled, and beautiful female subordinate, the feeling was really good. Tilda. After Bai Lu left, Su Wn laid on her embroidered couch again. Su Rui, I know you're there. Since you've hidden yourself so well, I'll take the initiative this time to lure the snake out. Tilda. At night, the princess's residence. After Su Wn showered and changed her clothes, she dismissed all the servants. Chapter 295. The next day, Bai Lu came to serve Su Wan at her usual time. But the moment she entered, she saw the military officer's cold expression. Ah! Bai Lu's gaze flickered, but she still bowed to Su Rui. Hello, military officer. Knowing that Bai Lu was Su Wan's confidant, Su Rui glanced at her faintly. Don't wake her up to go to court. Let her sleep a bit more. It wasn't a big deal to the Princess Royal if she didn't go to court. The royal family was just that willful. Tilda. Bai Lu, not going to court. What exactly did you do to my master? Seeing Bai Lu looking at him suspiciously and vigilantly, Su Rui's expression darkened. Why are you looking at me? Haven't you seen people chatting under the blankets? She sleeps late. Don't disturb her. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Tilda. Bai Lu's expression changed when she felt Su Rui's cold murderous intent. She was Su Wan's most useful assistant and also the leader of the imperial family's secret guards. She had killed countless people over the years, so she understood the murderous intent and aura of others the best. Because of this, Bai Lu's expression changed drastically. Although it was just for a moment, the military officer's murderous intent made her hair stand on end. Just that aura alone was enough to make her hair stand on end. There was an endless danger. Feng Wuchen, just how much did you hide? By the time Bai Lu came back to her senses, Su Rui had already left. It was okay if the Princess Royal didn't go to court, but as a professional spy, the military officer still had to go to court. Not long after Su Rui left, Su Wn also woke up from the bed. She habitually raised her hand and touched her side. Although it was empty, it was still warm. Bai Lu. Su Wn sat up and called softly. Bai Lu immediately appeared in front of Su Wan. Your Highness, you're awake? Su Wan nodded. What time is it? Why didn't you wake me up? Bai Lu immediately knelt on one knee. It's this servant's negligence. Just now, the military officer forbade me from waking you up. This servant was confused. Your Highness, please punish me. Forget it. Su Wan waved her hand. That's good. In a while, Bengong will write a memorial. You can enter the palace and hand it to His Majesty. Just say that Bengong has caught a cold and is bedridden. I need to recuperate. Yes. Oh right. Su Wan looked at Bai Lu. What else did Feng Wuchen say before he left? Ah. Bai Lu was astonished again. What did the Grand Commandant say before he left? Damn, she was distracted at that time and didn't notice. Thinking of this, Bai Lu immediately blamed herself. Your Highness, this servant didn't hear you, please Your Highness. Seeing that Bai Lu was about to kneel again, Su Wan immediately lifted her hand to support her. Okay. You're making me dizzy from kneeling here and there. Help me change first. Chapter 296. Imperial City, Imperial Garden. Suman wore a black dragon robe and sat quietly in the corner pavilion of the garden, listening to Yu Qing's heavenly music. Liu Luo wore a sapphire blue robe and sat next to her with a smile. Your Majesty. Kai Shuayuan saw the three of them being lovey-dovey and harmonious when she came in. She was used to this scene. Shuayuan, you're back. Seeing Kai Shuayuan, Suman's gaze flickered. She lifted her hand and dismissed all the guards and palace maids in the pavilion. Prime Minister Kai, sit. Seeing Kai Shuayuan walking over, Liu Luo smiled and gestured for her to sit. Kai Shuayuan nodded at him and then sat across from Suman. Shuayuan, how's Imperial Sister doing? Suman's expression immediately turned serious and cautious when she asked about Su Wan. She felt that her imperial sister had been acting strangely these past few days, so Suman had to be on guard. Princess Royal, Kai Shuayuan hesitated and glanced at Yu Qing, who was still playing the zither. Princess Royal seems to be really sick. Plus, she told this official to bring a message to your majesty, saying that she wants to bless you and master you. Ding. The sound of the zither stopped abruptly, and the strings broke. Yu Qing. Suman suddenly stood up nervously and walked to Yu Qing's side. She grabbed his hands and exclaimed, "Are you okay? You didn't get hurt, right? Why were you so careless?" "I'm fine. Your Majesty, don't be too nervous. It's just a pity about the zither." Yu Qing lowered his eyes and looked at the broken strings pitifully. His tone was filled with disappointment. "As long as you're fine, I can order people to find a better zither for you." Suman held Yu Qing's hands and smiled at him dotingly. As the Empress, she naturally could give the best to her man. Liu Luo continued to sit in his original position and stared at Suman and Yu Qing's hands. In the end, he turned his gaze away without a trace. After Suman comforted Yu Qing, she returned to Kai Shuayuan's side. "Shuayuan, how much do you think Imperial Sister is telling the truth? Princess Royal has always been very scheming. Even if she's willing to do it for a man. Well, I mean even if she's really trapped by love, she won't give up her ambition for many years. Your Majesty, you have to be careful." Hearing Kai Shuayuan's words, Suman nodded. "Yu Qing." She turned around and looked at Yu Qing gently. "Now that the entire city knows about Royal Sister's matter, I'm afraid I won't be able to marry you right now. You won't be angry with me, right?" "How could that be?" Yu Qing looked down. "I'm on Her Majesty's side. Naturally, Her Majesty comes first." "Yes, I know you are very considerate and considerate." Hearing Yu Qing's reply, Suman's mood immediately improved. "Shuayuan, it's time for lunch. You should stay too. Eat with me. I want to discuss Feng family with you." "Feng clan?" Hearing Suman mention Feng clan, Kai Shuayuan froze. "Your Majesty, do you want to? Ever since Feng Wushuang died, Madame Feng has been prejudiced against me. As for Feng Wuchen, I really don't dare to trust him easily. But if you're willing to marry him, then he'll naturally be loyal to me in the future." "Marry Feng Wuchen?" Kai Shuayuan froze. She did have a good impression of her cousin, and he was one of the few men who caught Kai Shuayuan's eyes. But her cousin was much more domineering than normal men. Normal wives really couldn't suppress such a powerful ruler. Seeing Kai Shuayuan's hesitation, Suman couldn't help but stare at her seriously. "What, Shuayuan? Do you not like Feng Wuchen? Although he isn't peerless in his generation, he's talented and skilled in both literature and martial arts. He's one of the best matches in Luanfeng country. Cousin is naturally very good. But I don't want to get married so quickly." Kai Shuayuan hesitated for a moment before replying softly. "You." Hearing her reply, Suman laughed heartily. "You are already the right Prime Minister, now you should enjoy your life and spread the leaves for your Kai family. In the future, give birth to a few more daughters and give our Luanfeng country a few more war goddesses." "Okay." In the end, Kai Shuayuan nodded. Maybe she really should get married, and her cousin was the best candidate, princess residence. Today, there was an endless stream of people coming and going to visit her. Finally, the sky turned dark. The princess residence was planning on closing the doors, but someone came uninvited. "Your Highness, Prime Minister Liu is here." "Liu Xian?" Before Su Wan could reply, Su Rui waved his hand impolitely. "I won't see him, I won't see him. Send him away." "Bai Lu, military officer, you're treating the princess residence as your Feng family, right?" "Your Highness." Bai Lu stood still and continued to wait for Su Wan's orders. "It's too late. Tell Prime Minister Liu to go back and come back tomorrow." "Yes." Bai Lu obediently retreated after receiving Su Wan's instructions. Su Rui couldn't help but twitch his lips. "Tomorrow? You're really going to see him tomorrow? Why not? He's our strongest ally." "Ally?" But it was a man. This wasn't good news. In short, General Su was really unhappy. Wife, I'm telling you. That Liu Xian isn't a good person. Be careful of him. Oh. Hearing General Su's words, Su Wan couldn't help but nod. I know. He's a big boss. Not only is he a villain boss, but he's also a maniac. Su Rui received the new plot from the headquarters, so he naturally knew about Liu Xian's character. He lived in a women's rights society, but he was a male chauvinist. Men like him had extreme personalities. The better Liu Xian hid it, the more it proved that his heart was dark and extreme. He was definitely a patient with a deep well of ice. Su Wan was speechless. So there was actually someone who could be called the ice of a deep well by General Su. It sure wasn't easy. Su Wan wouldn't look down on Liu Xian's danger index, but she wasn't worried at all. Even if he really goes crazy, I'm not afraid of him. I still have you, right? Ah, of course. So he was being praised by his wife. General Su felt great. Wife, it's really late. I'm not going back. I'll stay here for the night. Saying this, Su Rui took off his shoes and laid on the bed. The bed in the princess residence was really comfortable, but who knew when he could openly come and go here? General Su's heart was very vexed. It seemed like he had to settle Kai Shuayuan as soon as possible. Seeing Su Rui lying on the bed lazily, Su Wan couldn't help but cover him with the blanket. Go to sleep first. When Bai Lu comes back, I'll. Su Wan hadn't finished speaking when Su Rui, who was lying on the bed, suddenly raised his arms and pulled Su Wan in front of him. Without saying anything further, he started to nibble. No, that's called kissing. When Bai Lu came back from outside, she saw the two of them on the bed, entangling themselves intimately. Bai Lu was speechless. Military officer is so fierce. Wait, what I'm looking at seems to be wrong. Chapter 297. The next day, it was noon when Liu Xian came to the princess residence. According to the rules, Su Wan was bedridden. As a male official, Liu Xian couldn't directly visit her in her bedroom. Therefore, Liu Xian was arranged to stay in the guest room of the inner courtyard. After waiting for a while, Su Wan finally arrived with Bai Lu's help. Just 2 days had passed, but Su Wan's face looked really haggard and pale. Princess Royal. Seeing Su Wan, Liu Xian immediately stood up and bowed to her. You don't have to be so polite. Sit. Su Wan said softly, her voice a bit hoarse. Liu Xian sat back in his seat, his gaze landing on Su Wan's face again. Princess Royal, are you feeling better? I'm fine. I'm not that delicate. Su Wan smiled faintly at Liu Xian. I have to thank you for coming to visit me. You really are a considerate person. This is what I should do. Liu Xian nodded at Su Wan and then said in a low voice, Her Majesty has decided to postpone her and Yu Qing's wedding date. Princess Royal, do you know about this? Oh. Su Wan froze hearing Liu Xian's words, her face turning paler. Why? Could it be because of me? Princess Royal, why do you ask when you already know the answer? Liu Xian stared at Su Wan's eyes, wanting to see a flaw in her gaze. Unfortunately, Su Wan's eyes were deep and there was a flash of anxiety between her brows. No. I can't let Her Majesty do this. Saying this, Su Wan struggled to stand up. Bai Lu. Hurry and bring my phoenix gown over. Tell someone to prepare a carriage. I'm going to the palace to see the Emperor immediately. Your Highness. Your body. Bai Lu hesitated hearing Su Wan's words. Liu Xian also stood up and looked at Su Wan inquiringly. Princess Royal, why do you have to do this? You, presumptuous. Su Wan's gaze turned cold and she stared at Liu Xian. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. Bai Lu, hurry and prepare. Yes. Bai Lu left. Liu Xian looked at the sickly Su Wan and his usually gentle face changed. Princess Royal, was it worth it? Just for Yu Qing. To Liu Xian, that kind of man wasn't even worth mentioning. Whether it's worth it or not, that's my business. I don't seek to be acknowledged by the world, I only seek to be at ease. Peace of mind. Liu Xian looked at Su Wan in shock. He felt like he really needed to get to know this princess royal again. By the time Su Wan's carriage entered the palace, it was already afternoon. After entering the imperial city, Su Wan stumbled all the way to the imperial study. At this time, Su Man was still handling official business in the imperial study. Seeing Su Wan suddenly barging in, Su Man froze. "Imperial sister, why are you here? Why don't you marry Yu Qing?" Su Wan stared at Su Man's eyes and asked word by word. "Imperial sister, you're still sick. How can we have the mood to hold a wedding?"